Okay, today we'll be opening up and comparing these two BeckArnley oil filters. They both got the same part numbers, but this one here is made in South Korea. This one here is made in Japan. So today we'll compare these two oil filters and see what kind of differences there is. And I got these two oil filters from a very generous viewer whose name is Adam from North Carolina. Thanks, Adam. These oil filters fit Adam's 2023 Honda Odyssey. Yep, the one with the 3.5 liter engine. And these two filters are going to duke it out. Could get ugly, folks. And when the dust clears, we'll see who the winner is. So let's get started.
You gotta glue the silicone, get nice and tight, get your inner here, go trace it.
Okay, so here's the made in South Korea one, and here's the made in Japan one. And if we take a look at these boxes, there's really no information on these boxes. There's a website here, but I checked it out. I couldn't find any information about the filters. But on this one, it just says Korea, South Korea. And on this one, Japan. So made in Japan. That's about it. So let's look at the South Korea one first. Okay, you got day code H220520. These are instructions. Yeah, that's about all there is on there. And it's got this plastic covering over it. Okay. This filter has 8 inlet holes, metal core with holes. See the bypass valve there at the dome end. 4 grooves there for threads. And a nitro rubber gasket. It's like the O-ring style gaskets. And it looks like a nitro rubber and a drain back valve also. And see how much it sticks up. Okay, let's look at the Japan made one. This one says made in Japan. Did the South Korean one say it? Let's see. No, not unless you can read this stuff. It didn't say it on here, but that's the box it came in. So, alright, so made in Japan. It's got the instructions right here also. And not really a day code. I don't know if this is a day code, but it says 15 AF. That's all I could find on here. Okay, and this also has a plastic covering on it. Okay, and this filter also has 8 inlet holes. It looks like a silicone and drain back valve though. Metal core with holes. The bypass valve down there at the dome end. 4 grooves there for threads. And a nitro rubber O-ring style gasket. You can see that, yep. Fits right in that groove. Okay. And both stick out about the same. Base plates look identical. Okay, and let's get their weights. I almost forgot about that. Okay. The Korean one made is 216.6 grams. The one made in Japan is 220 grams even. Alright, let's take these two filters, cut them open, see what they look like inside. Be right back. Okay, so here they are both cut open. And one thing I want to say about this BeckArnley oil filters is that if you go to Rockauto and order them, you'll usually get this black one, which is a South Korean made one. But Adam, when he ordered these, he got 5 out of the 8. He ordered 8 of them, and 5 out of the 8 were the Japanese made ones. And so far, after cutting these open, it looks like the Japanese made one is probably better. But let's take a look at these guys and compare them. So here's the gaskets. And I'll put the thickness of the gasket up on the screen. The South Korean one is a little bit thicker, but they're both, well-made gaskets. Sure, they're fine. The base plates, they're identical. They got the same amount of grooves, same amount of holes, the same size. So I give them a tie there. Now, any drain back valves, I'd give to the Japanese one right here, silicone versus nitro rubber. You can see how these fit. So they both fit on there real nice. Look like they do a good job. Okay, now filter elements. Let's take a look at the South Korean one first. Okay, we got a metal crimp seam, kind of a large gap there. And I counted, there's some gaps here also. I counted 50 pleats on this filter. But on both of these filters, I don't have a micron rating or what the filter media is made out of. But you got metal end caps, bypass valve right here. And I'll just show how that opens up. Got little spot welds right here. And you can see the metal core with holes in it. Okay. Now, the Japanese one, it doesn't have a metal crimp seam, but it's got a seam that looks like a glued seam. Right here. Like a glued, maybe crimp seam. Looks like it's crimped. And this filter has a lot more filter media, more pleats. You got 68 pleats, so that's 18 more pleats. Yeah, and it's a different color also. It's like a pinkish color. And you got bypass valve right here. Which these are like little rivets. And also there's a date code, I believe this is a date code, 23. So it's probably 61223 or 12623. But you can see the metal core with holes in there. Also there's smaller holes, but there's more of them. We'll look at that later anyways. But yeah, the same thing on this filter. I don't know what the filter medium is made out of or the micron rating. Okay, and they both have coil springs. Although the Japanese made one is a little bit smaller. And I'll show you why. It's a little smaller because you can see the filter is bigger. Okay, and the cans, I'll put the thickness of the cans up on the screen. They're both almost the same thickness. Thick cans, they're hard to open up. But these look really nice inside. Okay, let's get the width of these filters. 2.22 inches wide minus a tenth of an inch for the South Korean made filter. And the Japanese filter is 2.53 inches wide minus a tenth of an inch. Okay, so let's take both of these filters. You can see the rivets in that one. See them down there? And spot welds there. So let's take these two filters, cut them open, stretch them out, and see what they look like under a microscope. Be right back. Okay, and here are both filters stretched out. And they are both 53.5 inches long. Okay, let's get the thickness of this filter media. Now this is the made in Korea filter, 0.67 millimeters thick. And the made in Japan filter is 0.65 millimeters thick. So this is the filtering side, back side. And if we take a look at these guys under a microscope, you're going to see that both of them have light spots in there. Little, pinholes. But the made in Japan one seems to be worse. So I think this made in Korea would probably do a better job of filtering. So let's take a look at that picture. So judging by the picture, I would say the South Korean filter would do a better job of filtering. But you get about 16 square inches or more filter media with the made in Japan oil filter. And let's take a look at the rest of the filter. So the reason the filter lengths came out the same, even though the made in Japan has more pleats, is because the center core is larger. You see this fits right over the South Korean one. So the South Korean one had bigger pleats. But you can see the difference on the holes on these. And take a look at the bypass valves. Okay, whoops. Yeah, you can see the rivets right there. And those spot welds there. Yeah, they both look, they're similarly made. And we already went over all this here. This is pretty much, I would give this to silicone and drain back valve to the made in Japan filter. So between these two, I think it's kind of a toss-up. You get better filtering, I think, with the made in Korea one. But then again, you got the silicone and drain back valve, so I don't know if that's kind of evens it out. Adam paid the same price for each of these, so which filter would you want in your vehicle? And again, I want to thank Adam for sending me these two BeckArnley oil filters. And I think I'll wrap this video up. And don't forget, Oil Filter Fridays. I try to open up an oil filter every Friday on this YouTube channel. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and take care. The made in South Korea filter media weighs 9.8 grams. The made in Japan filter media weighs 10.6 grams.